welcome back. So today is a bit of a different video than the last one I did. Before I mention about it, look at this place. So nice and beautiful. It's quiet. Got the old train station and the old train itself. So that's pretty cool. Super nice, beautiful. There's a whole hallway, walking track hallway up there, as well as a cafe, I believe. All this does get maintained by the council. Really cool. Really nice flowers, things like that. Just a great place to go to on a weekend, see some really nice colours and have a good vibe. This is the place to do it. So, the video I want to talk about today, it's been lingering on my mind a fair bit. But before we do that, I'm going to gear up and get ready to go for a ride, and I'll explain that as we are on the road. But it's a bit of an interesting one. It's really cool coming up and down this road. Bit windy, really nice. Just got to be careful because it can be gravelly. Really forestry, obviously, as you can tell, but nice forest area. So the subject that I want to mention today, or that I want to talk about, it's about what bike should I get in the bit of gravel. What bike should I get in the future? This has been lingering on my mind for quite some time. In Australia, completely different to some other countries. I'm not 100% sure. It might be similar to some countries, or might have the same rules and regulations and stuff like that. So obtain your bike license. Obviously, you got to go and get the license, right? I mean, we all do that. When you get your license, so it's a 2-day course, and when you get your license, you obtain a learner's license for at least 3 to 6 months. Oh, hello, comrades. So you obtain that license for 3 to 6 months, and after that 3 to 6 months, being comfortable on the bike and gaining that confidence of riding, you then can go for your license. Once you do your license, you then hold a restricted license for 2 years. But you are restricted to a 650 Lambs motorcycle. Nothing more than that, nothing above. When you obtain that for 2 years, and say you go out and you buy a 650 because in the future you want to go to a leader bike, which I recommend that people should. You do your course, your unrestricted course, which is, I think it goes for a day. I might go for a day or two, and then all of a sudden, look at that, you can ride any CC bike. I'm not too far from getting my unrestricted. On the license, it'll say REs, restricted. After your REs, it'll say Rs, unrestricted. I find it silly it says Rs, because if you look at it, some people might still think, oh, you're still restricted, but you're not. It would have made a bit more sense if it said you are unrestricted. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up is because this November or December this year, I can obtain my unrestricted license, and I'm really excited for that. I'm really keen to do that. Just like every other person, I'm keen to not be restricted anymore. I'm on a Z300, so this is a 2015. It has been serviced. It has been serving absolutely great, absolutely well. I have taken this onto some areas where it's real windy. People really push their limits, and I've done that with this bike. I haven't really had any issues with it. I think the only issue that I had was a bolt was missing from a engine mount. I couldn't figure that out for a while. That's to get the crap out of me. Thank God it did. So the rattling noise that was happening, it's been eliminated. But other than that, this bike has been servicing me really well. I recommend Kawasaki's. This is my first bike. This has been my first bike. I have been on other bikes, like toasty bike and stuff like that, at home, but it's nothing compared to a road bike. A lot of people might not agree with me to this move that I want to do from a 300. I've been looking at so many other bikes, and even though I have such a long way to go, I am always looking at bikes. I'm always seeing what is out there. I have tested other bikes. I have rode other bikes. I've been on the MT10. I have sat on a GSX 8R. I have ridden a R6, R7. I have been on a Husqvarna, a Z Pilion 401. I've been on that. It comes down to what type of style biking do you like? I like naked bikes, I like sport bikes, I like both of those type of styles. This is all I know is this Kawasaki, because I haven't really had any other bike long enough to give my actual input or like a long-term opinion. The other bikes that I'd like to get in the future, there's been Honda, there's been Kawasaki, Yamaha, there's been Suzuki, BMW, those big 5 major brands I have been looking at. I'll go in the list of the brands of the certain bikes that I've been looking at, and I'll start with Kawasaki. So the Kawasaki's, I love the Ninja range. I think the Ninja range look awesome, and they're absolutely aggressive. I'm not getting any younger, and I have bad knees, so the sport range nearly out of my option. But in saying that, I will still test and ride sport bikes. Ownership, I don't know. I might own one in the future. The Ninjas that I have been looking at was the ZX4s, the ZX6s, and the ZX10s, the Rs. I absolutely love the ZX10. Such an aggressive looking bike, reliable, a lot of power, and the front shape of the ZX10's sharp, it's pointy, it just says aggressive all over it. ZX6s, I love the ZX6s on the front as well. I do like how the ZX6s in the front, they got such a big air intake, and it's a good looking style bike. And the ZX4s as well, it's similar, the 400cc inline 4, so that's cool. And the naked versions for the Kawasaki's, I have looked at the Z900s. I was really considering a Z900 for my opens, but I was disappointed the fact that the Z900, it had a nice display, but it was lacking a lot of features that it should have been on there from standard in this day and age, and that would have to be the quick shifter. I want to get away from a manual lever, and I'd like to be using a quick shifter for obvious reasons. So that was lacking that until in 2025 they came out with the new one. The new one, that's when it had the quick shifter, it had the cruise control, whereas the previous model didn't. I thought that was such a great idea, just wish it happened earlier. New Z900s, do I like the look? Not so much, no. I feel like the new look strange looking, it's odd looking, the shape of the front is not as appealing compared to the previous model. The other naked is a ZH2. Dream bike is a H2, but for comfortability and not having to be so hunched over, I have been looking at the ZH2. So that's the Kawasaki range, and then the Yamaha range, I have been looking at the MT10s. It's not as appealing to me as much as what the Kawasaki range is, and I have ridden an MT10. It really feels like it wants to throw you off, because it's just so torquey. A lot of torque, maximum torque, awesome bike. But the Yamaha range, I love the Yamahas. I like the looks of the Yamahas, but it's just not appealing enough for me to make that move. So in the Suzuki range, the Katanas look really awesome. It's got that sort of old, nearly old style look to it. Trying to keep that tradition, I guess. And then the other one I have been looking at, which is a sport, the Suzuki GSX-8R. Sitting on it, you don't feel so hunched over compared to what you would with a R7 or a R1. So that's the other one that I've been looking at. The leader bike of the Suzuki would be the GSX-8R1000R. Looks awesome. I will put photos of the bikes I'm talking about. Amazing looking bike. The red and black color scheme looks so good. Suzuki did extremely well with the color combination on that. So that's that for the Suzuki range. BMWs are very popular right now. Alright, hopefully that looks a bit better. I had to adjust the color settings so You guys ain't getting absolutely blind. The other brand of bike I was looking at would have to be the BMW. Very popular bike right now, extremely popular, and it would be the S1K, the S1000RR. Amazing looking bike, styling looks spot on, but I don't think I could afford it. I feel like that's sort of out of my price range. I've really thought about it, and I've got a lot of time to think about it, and it could change in the future. But the bike that I'm really leaning towards right now is the ZH2. Now the ZH2 is a 1000cc supercharged leader bike. Going from a 300 to a 1000cc supercharged leader bike is absolutely crazy. The reason why I'm doing that though is because I do not have the money like some people where they can buy a 650, say for an instance a 300 652 litre bike. I don't have the type of money to do that. I don't have the funds to do that. I want to get a new bike so I can be done with it. I will still keep this and use this on some occasions. I love the look of the ZH2. I have sat on a ZH2, but I have not ridden a ZH2. The seating is so comfortable. I feel like they probably done a bit of a better job on the comfortability of the seat. Kawasaki's been around for a super long time. They're extremely reliable and they sound good. And crossplanes, it is a subject that a lot of people discuss about, or what sounds better, V-twin or inline 4. I like both. I think they both sound great. It's just personal opinion, right? I haven't been absolutely biased and just looking at ZH2. I have been looking at other naked bikes. What is great about that is going from a 300 to that, it's not just like that's it. There are ride modes in the ZH2. You got rain, ride and sport. I can go in those 3 stages, get to know the bike, understand what the bike is like, and know how to ride the bike. That's a good option too. My verdict is, do I want the ZH2? I want to get my opens. Yes, I'd actually would love to have the ZH2 after my opens. If anyone watches my videos that also rides, and if I have forgotten a brand or a bike model, give me some suggestions of the different brands that I should look at. I would like to ride all bikes. So that sums up today's video of what I wanted to talk about, or what I wanted to mention in this video, what the future plans are. I will catch you guys in the next one.